All right, it's bear in mind or BS. These are some top headlines from rookie OTAs. And we're going to tell fantasy football managers and NFL bettors whether they should bear in mind this or if this is just a load. So let's start with the obvious in the room. It's Derek Carr retires. Tyler Shough's offensive rookie of the year odds are diced at the same time. And Shough is a guy who came into this after this NFL draft process 40-1 at open. He's now down to 15-1, the sixth lowest odds for any offensive rookie. Spencer Rattler on this team, Jake Haener, the other two quarterbacks making up this roster. Eric, is this something that fantasy managers and NFL bettors need to be taking seriously?
Not really, right? Usually when you're talking about players of this caliber, I think back to like Davis Mills of the Texans 4 or 5 years ago, where their value was baked into them having the job available to them the entirety of the season. And I don't know if we can say that definitively with regard to Tyler Shough. He'll probably have the first bite at the apple, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see all three of these quarterbacks in the rotation at some point this year. The Saints are really just trying to double and triple check that they don't have an ace up their sleeve in the quarterback room and get ready for next year's quarterback that's coming by way of the draft.
Yeah, it makes sense. I will say though, Steve, I mean, they spent a mid-second round pick on Tyler Shough. So I don't know how I'm taking the bite of the apple here. Like, he's not going to be on any redraft teams, maybe some like last round best ball, shots on him. I could see myself getting invested if his, dynasty rookie draft price stays right in that probably like, late second round mark, but I think it's going to rise after this retirement. What do you think?
Yeah, you have to assume that other than Cam Ward, he probably has the clearest path to a week 1 start of any rookie quarterback going right now, right? So Spencer Rattler didn't inspire any confidence, nor did Jake Haener, other than being ready for his Haynes commercials. After his career comes to an end, he'll be ready to model. He's good to go. Listen, I agree with Eric that Tyler Shough is not the guy, but when you burn a second round pick on a quarterback, you're saying that you think he could be. And I don't think the Saints are going to play for a quarterback next draft. And they're still in a pretty weak division. I mean, they still have Atlanta. Tampa's not really that much better, if better at all, than they were last season. And Carolina, yeah, they added like Tet, but it's still Carolina, right? Like, that's still a long way to go. So this team could basically stumble their way into 7-8 wins this season, and I wouldn't be too shocked about it. So they're probably not going to be in play for the number 1 pick. So Tyler Shough's odds make sense that he could potentially be rookie of the year just based on his opportunity being higher than other people's.
Yeah, it's so interesting because the odds are most split here, as in they're telling you, hey, he has a shot here at offensive rookie of the year. But then at the same time, you look at the Saints Super Bowl odds and they're longer than anyone. So it's such a mixed bag there. I don't think I'll be overly invested. Maybe some Chris Olave shares. We're currently in a redraft mock that we're going to cover on a future episode of the program. And Chris Olave is falling down board. So other than that, I don't know how many shots I will be taking. Let's go ahead, though. Let's move to the next headline where looks like the Athletic Zach Johnson has said it's not close. Shedeur Sanders, when asked which rookie Browns quarterback looked better in the rookie OTA minicamps that are currently underway. Let's take a listen to hear what some boots on the ground had to say about Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland.
It's a stupid question because it's limited. But did one of the two look better to you in what they were asked to do than the other?
In just throwing the ball, it's not close. Shedeur Sanders.
It's not close
not
either.
Close. No.
Wow, that's okay. Now that's news.
That's news. But let me couch that by saying this is rookie minicamp.
Sure.
No pads, no full speed competition. But nobody coming to knock your head off.
It's telling. They're side by side, and they're not asked to do much, but they're both asked to do the same thing. And that one of them looked discernibly better than the other. I think that I didn't know that we would get that out of this minicamp.
We're standing here, Jay. They're on the field. They break the huddle from team stretch and team jog, and they go both pick up the ball and throw it. It's no question.
Wow, I think that's telling.
So Guys, we have these reports coming out. Most of them are favoring Shedeur, looking at like the better rookie here, potentially lining him up for a starting job down the line. However, we have Joe Flacco here. We have Kenny Pickett here as well. A lot to be decided. I don't think Kenny or Joe are going to take a ton of reps this offseason. Definitely not Joe. I think probably Kenny a little bit more, try to get himself on this roster. One of these four quarterbacks, though, will not be a Brown by week one. Eric, is what we're hearing out of shout out to the Browns Sports Show, or the Cleveland Sports Show, that is. We appreciate you guys for that bit of content there. Eric, is this something the Athletic Zach Johnson is his report that Shedeur is looking like the better quarterback? Is that something that we as fantasy managers and bettors need to bear in mind, or is this BS?
I think it's something to bear in mind, right? By whatever means it came to this point. Shedeur Sanders was a huge tumbler in the NFL draft and was the second or third quarterback on many evaluators board. So it's not surprising to hear that him compared to Gabriel throws a better ball, right? That's certainly not something that's going to knock you out of your seat. And I think this is kind of the arc for Shedeur Sanders, right? Being such a significant faller, tumbling down the board like that, he's going to have to win this position day by day, brick by brick, right? So getting into rookie minicamp and having more zip on his ball and looking like the more capable thrower is the first step on that path, right? So he has to continue to build that momentum. I think he is categorically the more talented of the two rookies. So it's obviously encouraging to see that the boots on the ground are confirming that in rookie OTAs.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Steve, when it comes to Shedeur Sanders in dynasty leagues, obviously I think you and I were both high on him coming into the process. He's now current fantasy ECR ranking of rookie 25 overall. So beginning of the third round, are you cool shooting your shot there on Sanders beginning of the third or potentially late second round?
No, and I don't want you putting that evil that I was ever high on Shedeur Sanders on me. Like, don't besmirch my name like that.
Sorry, that was my other show. That was D-Bro. D-Bro was also high
no,
on
I am never ever going to sit here and say I was high on Shedeur Sanders. Listen, I'm not putting not even a third round pick on the Browns' fourth string quarterback right now. No, like that's my honest to God answer. Like, this is why no one drafted Shedeur Sanders. This is something to bear in mind. It's exactly why no one wanted to draft this dude. He's not good enough to start, and yet you're having these discussions of whether or not him or the other cut candidate, Dillon Gabriel, looked better. There's a world where neither of these guys are on this team come August. I mean, it's a real possibility. I'm not talking about fourth and fifth string quarterbacks. I just will not do it.
Let me throw out a couple names, dynasty rookie drafts. Would you rather Bayshall Tootin or Shedeur Sanders? Eric?
In Superflex?
Yeah, one word. Yep.
Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Tootin. Steve?
Tootin.
Jaden Blue?
Blue.
In blue.
Oh, okay. Mason Taylor.
Sanders, I guess.
Jalen Knoll.
Knoll.
No.
Kyle Williams.
Williams.
Tyler Shough, last one.
Shough.
Sanders.
Oh, okay. All right. So some different, like this is a thing though. That's what we have to keep in mind. I think as the fantasy community, there's some very split opinions. Steve on the one side of the hedge, Eric very much on the other side of the hedge. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see how it plays out there in Cleveland. We'll keep you guys updated throughout the offseason. Let's move on to the next headline, which keeps us in Cleveland here. Fifth overall pick, Mason Graham, a guy who helped myself cash a lot of money during the NFL draft, and Steve as well, to go fifth overall. He's catching some heat on the internet right now for some rookie minicamp performances that are lackluster to say the least. Internet kind of questioning his conditioning right now. He was seen puking on the sidelines at one point as well.
Gross.
And Kevin Stefanski said after practice that, like, hey, I'm not worried about it. Maybe the guy just ate too many chicken wings at lunch, because like that's absolutely how delicious they are. Our cafeteria staff's the best, kind of turned a funny moment into a shout out to his cafeteria staff. So Eric, does this take the consensus All-American defensive tackle off your betting card to win Defensive Rookie of the Year at 14-1 odds currently?
It does not, because I don't think that price tag is where it really should be, right? It's really hard for a DT to win any of
Gotta
these
be like Jalen
superlative type
Carter.
awards. Yeah. You have to have like a Aaron Donald type season, right?
Yeah.
So he wasn't really on the radar for me, but I mean, this could just be the realization that he is a Cleveland Brown physically manifesting and exiting his body, right? There's so many things that can lead into that. If you've played football, if you played organized sports, every single one of us has had a practice or two where lunch came knocking. So I don't think it's really cause for any legitimate concern.
Steve, what's worse, puking on an airplane or puking through your helmet?
So I was not an organized football player. I was a baseball player, but I can tell you that I actually, you know what? I've puked a few, and I showed up in shape. Don't get me wrong. When I showed up to camp, I was in shape. I was ready to go, but I've puked a few times because just, it happens. But puking on an airplane, there's something so embarrassing about that. You know what I mean? Because everyone can hear you. It's not like it's soundproof. And then people know you're just puking in the back. I have never had that happen, thankfully. Fingers crossed. I am on a plane quite a bit, but it's puking in general is pretty rough. It's a pretty embarrassing situation to be in overall. I guess I'd have to go with
okay.
On an airplane.
Are you a fighter when you feel like you're going to puke? Like, are you trying to hold it back and hold on for dear life? Or
The Tums are flowing.
Depends where I am. If I'm in public,
level gets to dangerous levels. I'm talking my stomach is a barren. It's the Sahara in there. I take so many Tums to fight that shit. No way am I puking.
I've definitely
I'm right there with you.
I've definitely I can say I've never puked from a practice or anything. Luckily, I've never done it during sports. However, I can't admit I've taken shots. Kyle has probably been there, and I've taken shots, and I just never just at the bar, but I'm gonna walk away real quick. I'm gonna head to the bathroom, and I'm gonna throw this right back up.
I have friends who they'll have an upset stomach. They'll kind of feel sick, and they'll go, you know what? I just gotta throw up, and go throw, and I'm that's I think that's sociopathic, just a little bit.
It's bizarre.
I think that's the
only context where it is acceptable is exactly the one that Seth laid out. Here in Texas, we like to refer to that as the boot and rally, right? Just
the boot and rally,
the boot, keep it moving.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Fair enough. We call it the puke and rally up here, but I like the boot and rally. I'm gonna start
boot and rally.
Gonna start using that. Lawrence Taylor and Phil Simms shut down Abdul Carter's jersey number request. He asked LT, can I wear the number 56? No, you cannot, son. Asked Phil Simms. I don't know why Phil Simms' jersey is retired, to be honest with you. Number 11, can I get that? That's what I wore at Penn State. No, you cannot, son. All right, combine the two. We have Abdul Carter rocking the number 51 jersey as a rookie for the New York Giants. Does this spell trouble at all to you, Steve, that the Giants legends are not embracing who many are calling the next great in the Big Apple, Abdul Carter?
No, it's not. Did we expect Lawrence Taylor to be just such a nice guy like Lawrence Taylor? No. And then Phil Simms, Phil Simms has made a name for himself just being unreasonable on TV. So for him to be unreasonable in this, where he's no, my number's protected. I honestly forgot Phil Simms played football for a while. The fact he has a number retired, they might as well retire mine while they're at it. What a joke. what are we doing here? This is a nothing. Abdul Carter, though, I do think it's something about Abdul Carter, though, that he felt the need to go to two retired numbers instead of just coming up with his own.
It's confident.
I think it's annoying. I think that gives that is so pick me coded. It's so annoying. I would not like him if I was a teammate.
What do you think, Eric?
Oh man, there's some reporting at play here that I think sheds a little bit of light on it. Generally, I agree. You shouldn't be coming after LT's number, or really
you can go after Phil Simms if you want. I don't care about that.
100%, right? There's a pantheon of all-time NFL greats where don't touch your number, right?
Yeah,
but Phil Simms, number 11, it would be sick to have another Penn State edge rusher, number 11, just out there causing chaos in the backfield. Apparently, this conversation was actually initiated by Phil Simms. Someone asked him if he was going to give him his number. He said that he would be open to it. And then all of a sudden, Abdul Carter is tweeting at him saying it would be an honor. And apparently Phil Simms was actually on board for it, but then it was his wife Diana and his daughter Deidre that got into his ear, a little house meeting, y'all, and it got vetoed down. So we were a hair's breadth away from Abdul Carter wearing number 11, and then a family meeting ultimately tore it down.
God forbid Abdul Carter sully the good number of Phil Simms, who everyone forgot played football.
In Phil Simms' defense, I can't understand for like marketing defense, like, you know what I mean? Like I can't understand why you would want that to stay retired.
Phil Simms still pays for his own meals in New York. He's not a legend.
He's a legend in that every single time someone wins the Super Bowl MVP, they quote Phil Simms. They're going to Disney World.
True, very true.
Maybe your number shouldn't be retired for that, but he will live on.
For being a marketing ploy, you shouldn't have your number retired for that.
Moving forward, RJ Harvey makes a bold statement about year number 1. He says, quote, "I want to make an immediate impact in this league. I want to be like those guys. Darren Sproles, he went crazy with the Saints. Alvin Kamara too. I want to be better than those guys." I just took our guy RJ Harvey at 5'11" in our redraft mock. I couldn't be happier at that value. Eric, I knew you were high on him in Dynasty when we did our mock draft over there for the rookies a couple weeks ago as well. So it sounds like RJ Harvey has the right attitude. And not only does he know the comp of Alvin Kamara in this Sean Payton offense, but Darren Sproles once upon a time as well. What was a trendy fantasy play?
Yeah, Sproles was definitely that dude. Sean Payton was able to get a ton out of a player like him, but also has a pretty strong track record with guys that he's invested early round or early draft capital in. You can now add RJ Harvey to the list of guys like Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, Reggie Bush. The thing that I like most about RJ Harvey is he probably has the clearest path to a 3-down workload in an offense that netted Javonte Williams the 5th most targets in the running back position last year. So he very much so has vacated opportunity in front of him that he can gobble up and make the absolute most of.
5'11", that's a steal, Steve. That was a steal. What were you doing? You're napping over there. You and Jake Perry were napping. You were sleeping.
Dude, can we talk about like teacher you forgot to pass out homework energy? Seth hopping in the chat saying, "Don't forget to scroll down to find all the rookies." Like that's the part of doing off-season drafts, right? If you don't know, you don't know.
It's so lame. Let me tell you something about RJ Harvey. Number one, like, listen, I love a good confident player, right? But one thing, I just said it with Abdul Carter, right? Like, what is this with these guys that come in? And you know what this gives? It gives Josh Rosen being like, those 9 guys are going to regret not drafting me.
What's your issue with Josh Rosen? He's always catching strays on this program.
Because Josh Rosen is like the poster child for this new wave of rookies coming in.
Josh Rosen's older than me.
Laying out this ridiculous, like, proclamation for the world. RJ Harvey is an inch taller than me. Okay? And that's his listed height, which means I'm probably an inch taller than him in real life.
I don't need my running backs tall, dude.
Brother, slow the fucking roll. Okay. Ooh, I'm sorry. But slow your roll. Slow your roll. Because this dude is 24 years old. It took him forever to be anything at a subpar school. Okay? To walk in and put yourself in the same sentence as Alvin Kamara, that's crazy. That's crazy to do that.
I like it. I understand where you're coming from.
Sorry to all the listeners. But the language got me hot.
Also, I will say at the same time that I would argue he put this team on the map at UCF, man. I mean, this is a team that almost upset Alabama in 2023, come back in 2024. And this is just as they're making the move to the Power 5, now the Power 4. So I have nothing but respect for RJ Harvey. I think he's a value in redraft. I think he's a value in dynasty rookie drafts.
I think he's a value. I think he's a value. I think we need to... If I'm agents or coaches, I'm telling these rookies, you need to stop doing it. You're setting yourself up for failure.
Last story here, and nothing to bear in mind for fantasy football purposes, but just some great news. Gabe Taylor gets a tryout with the Washington Commanders. This is a DB/safety out of Rice. And why this is notable is because this is the brother of the late Sean Taylor, who was the 5th overall pick by Washington in 2004, two-time Pro Bowler as well, before being murdered during a home invasion in 2007. So, Eric, just some great feel-good news here out of some rookie camps. Gabe Taylor getting a shot with the Commanders, able to potentially carry on his brother's legacy.
Yeah, it definitely gets you directly into your feels, right? Especially when it is that Washington franchise that his brother played such a prolific brand of football for. Really cool to see that he's getting that workout. Also, talk about an age gap. I'm pretty sure Sean Taylor would have been like 42 years old this year for his kid brother to be
Are you serious?
making
Wow.
an appearance in 2025.
Yeah. I thought the same.
Definitely cool to see. Blast from the past, right, Gabe? I mean, Sean Taylor's time with Washington, his time as a Miami Hurricane, like, dude put up some
Legendary.
Yeah. Steve, I'm sure as a guy who has followed the ACC as closely as you has throughout your life, I'm sure Sean Taylor's run and way too short of a life and a career definitely meant something to you as well.
Yeah, as a college football fan, right? Like, there's nothing you can say about Sean Taylor that hasn't already been said and isn't absolutely worth saying, right? Like, this is a guy who a lot of times we see athletes like posthumously become legendary, and their legend is hyped up. Sean Taylor wasn't that. It's almost understated what this dude did on a football field. It was another level. Like, he was robbed of a life far too early, and he was robbed of what could have been the greatest safety career of all time. He was so
Honestly.
good. And I'm so happy that the Commanders are doing this because it shows a classiness, a willingness to reach out and be an organization that you want to play for, right? Like, and this doesn't feel like something the Commanders of old would have done under the old regime.
Nope.
So
this was not them for so long.
yeah, it feels so good. It feels right. Like, if I'm a free agent, if I was a free agent or a star or something, this would play into how will they treat me and those who come after me when I'm done with them, right? Like, my legacy with them, what will it be? This is really positive. I love this.
Yeah, this is one of the coolest NFL news notes we've had in quite some time on this program. So very, very happy about it. Good luck to you, Gabe Taylor, man. Let's go, buddy. Keep it up. Keep doing your thing for your family and your brother to be proud of you, man. And Washington Commanders, great turnaround for that. I mean, wow. I've never seen a turnaround like that for a program. You become like the heel of the league to potentially one of the most beloved franchises overnight. That's what someone like Jane Daniels and some powerful players in that front office can do.